So Museek Mag, when we launched a year ago, we were very lucky to have a genius on our front cover. And likewise again, now it's almost a year, and I think I'm very privileged to have Mr. A.R.Rahman and Mr. Anand Surapur, the two creative geniuses behind a very, very interesting film that's coming out very soon. It's called The Fakir of Venice. And when I heard about the title, it intrigued me quite a bit, because it definitely meant the Indian values or the spiritual values kind of meeting the West. So let's speak to the two minds themselves, and well, they're laughing at the name themselves. So let me ask you why. What is funny?
I think Fakir of Venice is a very cheeky film.
Yeah.
Right.
It has a very interesting take on everything. How you can.
Yeah. So like he exactly said the same thing. We are taking it in a lighter vein. It's not the serious.
Right.
It's a true story, and it's a little
it's a
sad story.
But
it's today's situation and today's ways of how the world is working in exploitation and humor and the dark side of things.
But a very engaging story, I think.
And,
right.
So Anand has got this amazing way of getting people to play very real, and yet having a sense of humor which is amazing.
Yes, I've been laughing pretty much the whole evening with him next to me. So both of you have slightly similar backgrounds, in the sense both of you started with TV commercials, and music, and he in terms of direction, and you've, I think, traveled almost 2 decades in the process and journey to where you are right now. Did your paths cross ever before? Now?
Many times it crossed.
Many times it crossed.
And
now
only cross many times in the future.
Yeah, I think he's done some iconic videos which are very iconic at that time, very bold videos. The one with the Rabbi and Kailash Kher was amazing. It kind of expressed something very beautiful, and I love people in Indian people who have creative, the strength and energy to do something very bold, courageously. Correct. And he's one of them. God bless him, and hope he does many more movies. And
yeah, definitely. The reason why I want to work with him on this, and he also showed an interest, is because we couldn't identify a sound that I could relate to for this film. Seriously, I mean, whatever, so a new sound is what we want to create, and who else would I go to?
Right.
So that's what we are working on right now, because I want to create a new sound for background also.
Right.
Yeah.
And this film, you cannot. It's a
very trippy film.
Yeah, it's a weird film, so we don't know exactly whether.
Not weird film.
Weird, I mean it in a good way. I mean.
Yeah, I did have a look at
the premise is like it's so unreal. It's so unreal that it's real,
True. Yeah.
It's like that. So I think this is exciting. I mean, getting him on board, and also defining a sound. Only he can do that, because none of the Indian musicians that I've worked with, to be honest, can come up with this kind of sound.
No, don't talk too early.
I don't mean it like that. I just mean a new sound.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We'll try our best.
This requires that. That's all.
Try our best.
And I'm confident. I don't know if he is, but I'm definitely confident.
Yeah, he's always very humble about it.
That's the way. Until it's done, it's not done. That's where he comes from.
True.
I'm more positive and
true,
more like that in my thinking.
Yeah. So obviously this Fakir element to it, does that excite you in its way? The mystical aspect, or the well, it isn't mystical. It's like a spoof on the mysticism, maybe.
No, it's just that when in every field works on practicality, and it is just how much deep they can go. Sometimes sacrifice their conscience or go against what should be done to make some things possible. Governments do that now. Foreign policies do that now.
Right.
And in a way, I think it is an individual who makes choices which are not, which we laugh at. And what all happens between, sometimes when you do a shooting or when you do an instrument, oh, that girl is not in town, or that guy is not there, get somebody else, go. We just say that because we want the song to be done as a leader. And it's very similar. The character actually is playing something.
No, and also one of the things that excited me is that in this day and age, these kind of real stories are happening. So you can see the extent of exploitation in a funny way, or in an ironic way, in a bittersweet
Right,
way,
right.
without
That
making any
human
judgment.
touch, which in the conscience, or
Yeah.
that is disappearing from the world.
True.
Yes.
Like, is this dharma? Is it acceptable to my conscience? Is it acceptable to God? And there are people who are asking, who's God?
No, exactly.
What's
the
God?
morality,
What's God, yeah,
the morality lines of morality become grey. Earlier it was too black and white, the good and bad.
True.
Now it's
But
become
it's-
so grey that
There's so much of humor that you can relate to every character. You can
Right.
relate to everyone.
yeah, these are all people around us. Whom,
Yeah.
these are all people that you see. Like Farhan plays somebody I know who me.
Mm-hmm.
These are all living and they're doing well in the industry also. It's not like they're not doing well. But this is the way the world is.
Right.
So we are not making any judgment on that. We're just
Yeah.
trying to show you a side to
As it is.
Yeah, as it is. And then you take a call on what you want to feel like. It's not in my hands to make you feel good or not. I'll just present the facts with him and then we'll see where it goes. It's like a lottery.
So you must have seen the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what touched you the most? Or what?
I'm just doing the film to support him, as he's a very creative person, and this is his attempt in doing his first film. Farhan is, of course, it's an extra bonus for us.
Right, right.
But I think it's very important. People keep saying that, why don't you do this film? Why don't you do that film? Then somewhere I felt like this film is worth doing, even though they're in a hurry.
Right.
We're going to try our best to get what?
We are trying to. He's helping me close this quickly. That's what he's doing right now.
It's, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, he said it's been in the making for quite a while
Quite a
now,
while.
so I think he's
Yeah, I think
Now we are
needs to
trying
kind of wrap
and
it up as
all
it's
the
like
new-
a 12-year, what do you call, pregnancy.
baby, yeah, gestation, yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it's a.
Yeah.
It feels like, because it's a story, which is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very up to date, and
And luckily Farhan has not aged as much as we thought he would.
That was my question. I mean, how did you manage the cast?
I didn't manage anything. I just shot it and he didn't age. So it was like that.
So in terms of music, since you're creating a new sound or discovering a new sound for
no, don't.
no, what?
That's my hope.
No, that's okay. What might be the instruments you might try and gravitate towards?
It's too early to talk about. We're
Yeah.
just about
Okay.
starting, but because it's a lot of stuff is in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
The story is in Italy and in Venice.
Venice, yes.
And Venice is the birthplace of many things, actually.
Right.
Art, perfumes, and so I've done a bit of research
Love.
because I'm doing my virtual reality movie in Rome.
He's
I
doing it
did-
in Rome.
Oh, really?
So-
Done it in Rome,
Okay.
yeah.
So I
All
did-
right, all right.
So I did my research.
So
I'm
that
just
flavor is still there with him, right? Oh, the Italian
hangover,
flavor.
hangover. So yeah, I think we are